welcome.
Oh, thank you, Scott. Or shall I say Angus?
Whenever you're choosing this, you call it whatever you want. Just not late for supper. Well, I got 2 pairs of sunglasses if you ever want to borrow one of them.
Thank you, thank you. And I can't believe I forgot my own.
I think it would be really cold swimming, but it feels nice on the hands. Gotta watch Scott jump in.
Oh, I'm sure he's up to it.
Brave.
I can avert my eyes. Hello and welcome. We're near Baker City, Oregon this morning, enjoying a day hike up here in the Elkhorn Mountains near Baker City, USA. Van Patten Lake. And the rocks here are 100% granite, at least right here at this lake. The granite's more than 100 million years old, so we're back to the age of the dinosaurs for when this magma was molten. And we'll wander around here in the area and give you plenty of good looks at some granite, good old-fashioned granite of the Wallowa batholith. We're not in the Wallowa Mountains, but we are still looking at Wallowa batholith. But being a Washington person and being new to the area here, I don't really know if there's a story of long-distance transport for this granite. Now, it is exotic terrain material here in this portion of Oregon. One of the rare chances to see some exotic terrains in the state of Oregon, and that's the story for much of this area between Hell's Canyon, the Wallowa Mountains, over here to Baker City, etc. There's I think four different distinct exotic terrains to study. But this batholith, I'm not sure there's a long-distance transport story. And what do I mean by that? Is this truly some granite that came across the Pacific Ocean? Not sure of that. Or is this granite that was molten down in Mexico and was transported north, Baja, BC, almost 2,000 miles to get here to eastern Oregon? I don't think that either. Just my hunch. I need to read more because we're so close to Idaho here. We're so close to the old edge of North America that I think we're too far east to be part of the Baja, BC story. I mean, we're old enough to be moving stuff from Mexico, but I don't think the position of this rock in the North American West Coast scene is appropriate for Baja, BC, but I need to look into that. Thanks for joining. Hope you enjoyed this short little video from the Elkhorn Mountains, Van Patten Lake, above Baker City, Oregon, USA. So you're looking east over the valley where Baker City, Oregon sits. You're looking to the Wallowa Mountains on the horizon there. And beyond the Wallowas is Hell's Canyon, and beyond Hell's Canyon are the Seven Devils Mountains of Idaho. But we're standing here in the Elkhorn Mountains, and everything you see is granite, the Wallowa batholith, that is more than 100 million years old. So this is older than the Stewart granite. And I think you're on the side of the phone that has the good camera, at least I'm hoping you are, so that I can get pretty close with you here. So here's a good looking plutonic igneous rock, and you're seeing a good looking granite, meaning you're seeing some gray stuff, which is the smoky quartz. You're seeing some white stuff, which is the feldspar, some sort of let's leave it alone, feldspar. And then the black things, you see some a few hornblends here, but you can also see some biotites. Now every once in a while Well, you can see some lichen splotches. So that's not geology, that's biology. Okay, but let's see if there's any details within this Wallowa granite. Well, sure there are. So here's a little inclusion. Sometimes called a xenolith. Xenolith, like a foreign piece of rock. So when this whole batch of magma was underground, it was melting previously existing rocks down there in the dark, and there were some previously existing rocks that survived, and they kind of hung out as inclusions or xenoliths. But over here, just screwing around in this pile, just over the hump is, what is it, Van Eaton? Oh, shit. Hang on, Patrick. And if we look at Marley's map, we're staying in Baker City, and we are now up in one of those pink blotches. I'm out of hands now, but where it says JKG, that's where we are in the Elkhorn Mountains. And JKG, in a generalized map like this, is Jurassic Cretaceous. So this is magma that was molten during the age of the dinosaurs. And you'll notice that across the way, again, across the way over there, looking to the east, are the Wallowas in the distance. Smoky Ridge way in the distance, that skyline. So that is the Wallowas. And you'll notice there's a lot more of the pink, a lot more of the JKG. And in this case, Marley has given us the ages. Those are in millions of years, 140 million years down to 131 million years. Correct. Now I'm in it for the stories, of course. And even though I'm not very clear on the relationships here in southeastern Oregon, I'm quite confident this is not part of the Baja BC story because we're too far east. So there are rocks like this that are in Washington. Excuse me while I grab a piece of granite for you. So there's granites like these in North Cascades of Washington that were clearly moved from Mexico. And it's okay to have the age be, what was it? What did she just say? 140 million? It's okay for something that's 140 million years old to be moved north from Mexico, part of the Baja BC thing. However, I think we're too far east. I think our position here with respect to old North America is wrong for the Baja BCC story. There's one other thing I want to show you without falling down. And that is, here's a cute little dike. So just one of probably hundreds of little, you've heard of quartz veins, but these are a little bit wider. And so I guess you could call this a vein, but quite often these are dikes. So you basically take the granite after it's cooled. You're still way down below the surface, by the way. You crack the bedrock open, but you're under such high temperatures and pressures that you squeeze, like toothpaste, a bunch of molten material into that area. And you're like, well, why doesn't it continue across all of these? Well, each of these blocks is a different part of the batholith that tells a completely different story. The Wallowa batholith, Elkhorn Mountains, Eastern Oregon. Thank you. Pretty good look at a granite here. You can see these black minerals have a pretty specific shape, many of them. These are hornblends, the mineral called hornblende. Hornblende. And as I rotate them, you can see a very nice cleavage plane. And then there's plagioclase feldspar making up many of the white minerals here. And the gray, you'll notice, can you find a gray? There's a bunch of grays that are just kind of, they're gray and glassy, but they don't have cleavage. And again, a cleavage plane on a mineral is like a little mirror reflector. Oh, great, I picked a spot with a lot of flies that you can maybe hear. So as I rotate this around, you can see a lot of sparkles. Those are not diamonds. Come on, can we stay in focus here? Great chance to see cleavage planes on minerals. The black flashes are hornblends, mostly. There's a little bit of biotite. And many of the white flashes are plagioclase feldspar. From a granite that crystallized more than 100 million years ago. At 7,000 feet elevation. Go ahead, sir. Pretty nice day, I'd say. You're doing a really good job hiking.
Pretty awesome.
I am hot too.
Yes, you are. Don't worry. Getting close, honey bear. You got it. Just watch your step. Take your time. Thank you.
You're welcome.
See all the lupines?
I think
Beautiful. Yeah, we don't want to take those, but we want to take these.
I should know the name of the valley. I don't. Is it the Powder River Valley? Is it the Baker Valley? There's an Oregon Trail history here that I need to learn. I'm sure many of you have very specific amounts of information of this valley and this area. I would love to learn from you. Mining history. For all the times that I've driven through this area at 70 miles an hour on the freeway heading to the in-laws in Pocatello, Idaho, I think every time I've said either out loud or to myself, wow, why don't we stop in Baker City and check that area out? Those Elkhorn mountains look so amazing. So better late than never. Well, significant questions about the granite remain, and if you are an expert or a person who knows how to find good information about the granites of Eastern Oregon, please leave a comment or a link below. Be happy to learn from you, not only me, but others as well. There's so much to learn, and the granites have a specific story to tell, unknown to me at the moment, but I'll bet you somebody's figured something out. Thanks for joining us. Baker City Granite, I love you. Goodbye.